From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Tuesday, March the 8th, 2022. Israel's Foreign Minister Yair Lapid met yesterday in Latvia with U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken to discuss the situation in Ukraine. Lapid reiterated Israel's position of trying to help mediate between Ukraine and Russia to reach a diplomatic resolution.
Israel is totally committed to do everything possible to stop the war in Ukraine. We have condemned the Russian invasion, and we still do. And Israel is a partner in the global effort to make sure and clarify that this war must be stopped. The way to stop a war is to negotiate. Israel is speaking with both sides, both with Russia and Ukraine, and we're working in full coordination with our greatest ally, the United States, and with our European partners.
Blinken expressed his gratitude to Israel for those efforts.
Very much appreciate all of your engagement in the effort to stop this Russian aggression in Ukraine, a war that has already done tremendous damage. I look forward to hearing your ideas, hearing about some of the engagements that Israel has had, but we appreciate all efforts by friends and allies to look for a diplomatic resolution. That's always been preferable from the start. Unfortunately, Russia chose not to pursue the path of diplomacy. It chose aggression.
And Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky tweeted today that he talked to Prime Minister Naftali Bennett. He thanked Israel for its mediation efforts in establishing the negotiation process. Ways to end war and violence, he said, were discussed. Zelensky also spoke yesterday on a Zoom call to the leaders of the Conference of Presidents of major American Jewish organizations, urging Jewish organizations to push world leaders to do more to help Ukraine. CEO of the conference, William Daroff, told the JTA afterwards, in tandem with American Jewry donating tens of millions of dollars for rescue and relief efforts in Ukraine, we stand shoulder to shoulder with our Ukrainian brothers and sisters, praying for peace and continued U.S. leadership to end the conflict. And in an effort to streamline and ease the process for the many refugees from Ukraine coming to Israel, Bennett, together with Aliyah and Integration Minister Peninnah Tamano-Shata, appointed Mayor Spiegler to lead the country's national task force on the integration of Aliyah from Ukraine and neighboring countries. Bennett said the State of Israel was founded to be the safest place in the world for the Jewish people. This is the heart of our purpose. Jews fleeing places of danger need to know that they have an open door and a warm home. Our internal bureaucracy cannot place obstacles in their way. Well, among the Ukrainians who have arrived in Israel, the Times of Israel reports 3 family members who were injured during a Russian missile attack on their home near Kiev. The 3 who landed yesterday at Ben Gurion Airport were evacuated from a hospital in Kiev by New York-based emergency flight organization Hatzalah Air to the border with Romania and Moldova. Then they flew to Israel. This after a call from Magen David Adom and Zaka volunteers on the ground in Ukraine. They are now being treated at Hadassah Ein Kerem Medical Center in Jerusalem. Looking now at some other news, former U.S. Vice President Mike Pence is in Israel. Pence met today with Prime Minister Bennett, and Bennett's office said that the two discussed the nuclear agreement with Iran and its implications, as well as the situation in Ukraine. Pence tweeted also that he met the Prime Minister today to discuss Russian aggression and the war in Ukraine, as well as the disastrous Iran nuclear deal and the implications it would have on Israel. Pence also met with Israel's President Isaac Herzog and visited the Western Wall, the Kotel in Jerusalem's Old City. Well, after a truly spectacular and historic season, the Yeshiva University men's basketball team was eliminated from the NCAA Division III tournament. The YU Maccabees lost 63-59 to Johns Hopkins Blue Jays on Friday, taking them out of the tournament in the first round. YU President Rabbi Dr. Ari Berman tweeted on Friday, "What an amazing journey. So proud and thankful to our incredible team and coaches." The Maccabees won their second straight Skyline Conference championship this season. They earned a #1 national ranking on the D3Hoops.com men's basketball top 25 national poll and held a 50-game winning streak. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Tuesday, March the 8th at 7 o'clock, Rabbi Ammiel Hirsch talks about representation and cultural appropriation. At 7:30, Ellie Cohanim speaks with Marshall Billingslea, a former Assistant Secretary for Terrorist Financing at the U.S. Department of the Treasury, who discusses Russia's invasion of Ukraine. At 8, Israel Hacohen joins Liz Berney and the ZOA Book Club to speak about his father Mordecai and his memoir, Homeland, From Clandestine Immigration to Israeli Independence. At 9, it's part 2 of Mark Golub's interview with Klal leader Brad Hirschfeld on L'chaim. At 10, an encore presentation of the new JBS show In the Spotlight, speaking with 3 leaders of Maharat, the Revolutionary Orthodox Institution. And coming up next, it's the ILTV's Insider. And that's the JBS News Update for Tuesday, March the 8th, 2022. I'm Teisha Bader. Stay healthy, stay well.